Namaste and welcome to Youth in Development, produced by Today's Youth Asia. In the TV show Youth in Development, we bring young leaders face to face with the key players of development works. My name is Trustee. In today's episode, we have with us the members of the ACYPL team. The 7-member delegation of the Young Political Leaders of United States of America is here as a part of a cultural exchange program. Their visit focuses on the political processes as well as the economical and educational development of Nepal, as Nepal builds its foundation for a democratic future. The visit has been organized by Washington, D.C.-based American Council of Young Political Leaders and Kathmandu-based Today's Youth Asia. The program has been made possible by the funding from the U.S. Department of State and local support from the U.S. Embassy in Nepal.
Hi, my name is Adam Howard. I'm from Vermont. I serve in the General Assembly there. I'm a Republican, and I have a small publishing company that has to do with mountain sports, which is one of the reasons I was really interested in coming here, is because of your mountains. And I'm really excited in learning how your mountains here in Nepal can help bring Nepal to new places, new heights.
My name is Ashley HOLBROOK. I do government operations for the Boeing company in South Carolina. In South Carolina, Boeing is producing the 787 Dreamliner aircraft. And I'm here with America's Council for Young Political Leaders. We're here on a political and cultural exchange so we can learn about other countries and other governments. Each of the folks in our group has some sort of specific job that relates to the government in some way, and so we're here to learn about the country of Nepal.
My name is Kyle Hibble. I'm from the state of Colorado in the United States of America. My role in Colorado is to serve as chairman to the University of Colorado system, which is the university system that is in the state of Colorado.
Hello, Nepal. My name is Alex KUHNS, and I'm an elected board member of the Cincinnati Public School Board. I am from the Independent Party, which means I'm neither a Republican or a Democrat. And my areas of interest are education and sports, primarily soccer. I also have an interest in religion, and I'm looking forward to meeting some monks later in the week.
My name is Jeanette Manning, and my post is I'm an attorney for the Office of the Attorney General for the District of Columbia, and I'm a supervisory attorney where I supervise attorneys as well as individuals who work with families who have been victims of crime, and I also interact very closely with the local council for the District of Columbia, as well as work on security and public safety issues that affect the city.
My name is Liz McElroy. I live in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and I work for the AFL-CIO, which is the umbrella organization of trade unions in Philadelphia. That's really my area of interest. I work with people who are in need of rights on the job.
Hi, my name is Rick SMOTKIN. I work for a company called Comcast in America. Comcast is the largest cable TV company and internet provider in America. I'm also here as part of a delegation with the American Council of Young Political Leaders. I actually serve on the board of ACYPL, and this is my 4th delegation that I've been part of. And all of the experiences I've had with this organization have really had profound impacts and changes on my life and how I view the rest of the world, which is really kind of the goal and primary purposes of these delegations.
Well, I'd like to think that by serving in government, especially as a younger person, that I'm contributing to making the world a better place, because all too often young people don't have time or energy to serve, and so we are stuck with leaders from generations of the past. And I think that in order for us to really get things done, young people need to step up and dig deep and get some work done.
So at the Boeing Company, we feel like community service is extraordinarily important, and we contribute to our community in several focus areas, health and human services, education, to name a few. And I sit on a committee at Boeing that looks at all of the projects that Boeing is working on. So I have a lot of interface with that committee and work very hard on that. Boeing is also a sponsor of America's Council for Young Political Leaders, so the Boeing Company helps sponsor this organization and this group.
I have a belief that the way we maintain our civil societies is through the education of our young people. And in my role as chairman to the University of Colorado Board of Regents, I have the opportunity to be in a position to help educate young people.
As a board member for the Cincinnati Public Schools, we are charged with setting policy and overseeing the superintendent of schools and the treasurer of schools. We must make sure that the schools are funded and that the curriculum is appropriate to make sure that our students are competing on the world stage. By doing this, we can affect the globe in the future and make sure that our future is a more educated group and that we don't repeat the mistakes from history.
Basically, the work that I do every day is ensuring that people, residents, those who are residents of the District of Columbia, which is our nation's capital, are kept safe from serious issues as it relates to issues associated with prostitution, issues associated with drug nuisances and problems. So for instance, if there's a home within a community that is creating a lot of issues for the community as it relates to safety, whether it's due to individuals who are involved in gang activity or individuals who are operating brothels in the community, or even sometimes homicides that are associated with properties, and as a result people in the community are very fearful and concerned about their the safety in their lives. We work to ensure that their neighborhoods become safer so that they can have an improved quality of life. So my contribution in that regard is hoping that I can make life a little bit better for individuals to the extent that I can, where it's possible, to make life a little bit safer and more enjoyable for individuals within the District of Columbia.
We, at the AFL-CIO, the work I do is as a political director. So what I do is I work with our members to elect candidates in different areas. But basically what we do is work with workers all over the city to have a voice on the job and to have some fair process in the elections.
I think it's in two ways. So I have my professional life, which is what I said earlier. I'm a lobbyist in America. Here, you probably don't have that word. In America, I work, like I said, for Comcast, which is a large, very, very large corporate entity. And my role is to help influence and work with elected officials around the country to help promote the business needs of Comcast. In my kind of public life and non-professional, where I feel that I do contribute in a different way to making the world a better place, is through ACYPL. The reason for our delegation is twofold, and the reason for ACYPL is twofold. First, as you'll get to know this delegation throughout the news this week, we are here, 7 of us. I'm actually the escort for the trip, but we have 4 Republicans and 3 Democrats as part of this trip. And what we learn both from ourselves first is just as critical as what we learn from touring and traveling throughout these countries. Some of the discussions that we have had, we come from very different backgrounds, our delegation, very different political beliefs, but we have been spending the last week traveling through Sri Lanka and now this week through Nepal, and just being with people of these different backgrounds is a truly special experience. We're able to share ideas. We don't always agree. We've had some heated debates and discussions, but the important part and what we hope to promote throughout the world as part of ACYPL is that you can have your differences, but at the same time you need to respect people's differences, and a lot of times you're going to learn from them. We joke as we've been traveling for the last week that 90% of the time we probably agree, and we have to work on those 90%. I think that's a message for the Nepalese, for the Sri Lankans, for people around the world, that those 90% that you agree on, really work on those, and don't let the 10% that you might not agree on overshadow everything that you do agree on, because 90% is a lot better than 0, and I think that's one of the major problems throughout the world today, is people are so tied to those 10% that they don't come together and work on the important issues facing the people of their respective countries.
I'm here as part of a delegation from the American Council of Young Political Leaders. It's essentially a knowledge-gaining delegation. We just came here from Sri Lanka. We hosted a delegation from Nepal last year, and generally we're looking at ways that young people can contribute more to government and society, because young people have a perspective that's fresh and new, and the politics of the past aren't really good enough anymore for them.
We are from all different political backgrounds and different parties, different affiliations, and we're here to learn about each other, but we're also here to learn about different governments. You guys are at a very interesting time in your country, and so we're here to learn about the country of Nepal, about how your government is going to be structured, and we're very excited about that.
The American Council of Young Political Leaders, along with today's Youth Asia, is hosting us in the country of Nepal, and the purpose of the delegation is to learn more about Nepal and how the social and political systems work. Certainly the opportunities we've had to meet with leadership in the country of Nepal has gone a long way to deepening our understanding of the country of Nepal and its relations both internally and globally.
We've come to Nepal in order to learn about the culture here, in order to meet people that have a stake in what goes on in politics, and to also share our stories. My expectations for this trip are to come back home with a new sense of optimism and new energy in order to get things done and to build partnerships across the globe, so that our students in Cincinnati and that students here in South Asia may get to know each other and understand world issues.
I came to Nepal as a result of last year I participated in an international fellowship specifically focusing on human trafficking. And as a result of meeting individuals from around the world and from participating in that program, I was nominated to participate in the American Council of Young Political Leaders and thankfully was selected to participate in this program. So what brought me here is from having been nominated specifically by the individual who heads the fellowship that I participated in. And what I hope to get from this exchange program, but specifically here in Nepal, is, as mentioned, I have an extensive, I have a strong interest in working on issues that surround gender as well as child trafficking, both sex trafficking and labor trafficking. And given that I supervise cases and close illegal brothels in the District of Columbia, I know that here within Nepal there is a large, there are issues associated with human trafficking, as are in other parts of the world, including the United States. And as a result, I really would like to get the opportunity to get more information as it relates to what Nepal is doing to address those issues, coupled with how I might be able to be of assistance in developing and building partnerships from the United States and being able to continue doing work on these issues domestically or internationally.
We're here with the American Council of Young Political Leaders, and it's a group of us. There's 7 of us from all over the United States, and we're really here to learn from you and to hear about what's going on in your country, hear about the process. The new Constitution is exciting, and the new times. And we're really just here to learn and exchange ideas and hopefully build a relationship going forward into the future.
The purpose, like I said, is we're here with the American Council of Young Political Leaders. ACYPL has been around for 46 years, and it started back in the 50s as a reason to bring both, like I said, differing opinions from America so people can share that, but also to open the world to Americans. I think one of the things that Americans suffer from is a lack of culture and identifying with how the rest of the world lives. So I think it's really critical for our young leaders to have those experiences. A lot of the people who have been with ACYPL start off, it's 40 and under, and as they rise in the political stature, we have members of ACYPL who have been the Attorney General of the United States, who are the Senate Majority Leader of the United States, who are the Speaker of the House. So it's very important that they, learn about the world when they're younger, for when they get to those higher positions and have those relationships to build bridges among our countries. While we are here, we really hope to learn about the culture, learn about your history. Just in our 12 hours here so far, we have had an amazing experience in seeing the hospitality and the warmth of the Nepalese population. We met with the president this morning, which was truly an honor, and the fact that he was willing to meet with a group of American politicians speaks, I think, a lot to him, and hearing about his hope and vision for the country was truly inspiring for all of us, and it's something that we hope to bring back to America. In America right now, politics are very divisive, and I think it's important to see that, what still separates America is that we've never gone to a civil war, and we hope to bring those kind of values here to, again, be able to talk about people's differences and to be able to focus on, again, what brings you together as a nation. Before coming here, I wasn't really sure what to expect. You hear about Nepal, and, one of those, you hear truly beautiful places, but so few Americans ever get the opportunity to come here. But I've spent some time throughout Asia and did some reading, and I knew that the people would be very warm. I didn't think they'd be as open as they've been, which has been great so far. The hospitality and meeting with the highest levels of the government here have been great. So I hope to just continue to learn more about this country, learn about the history, and then be able to take it back and share that with more Americans.
We look forward to your feedback. Our email address is youthTYA@gmail.com. We'll be back next week at the same time. Have a nice week. Namaste.